Oh hi! Thanks for watching my video. Every now and then I like to make videos where I just talk about Sim stuff. And I think I must have rolled out the wrong side of bed this morning because I'm in the mood to have a bit of a moan. So today we are talking about The Sims 5 and why I'm a bit worried about it. Pretty much most of the rationale behind my concerns are based off of the way The Sims 4 is. It is still the latest game in the franchise after all, so if any game gives us an insight into how the future of The Sims might be, it'll probably be The Sims 4. Over the years I've noticed a change in the way The Sims games have been, both in terms of performance and in terms of add-on content. So in this video I'm going to be highlighting a few things from The Sims 4 that I'm worried will continue onto or will get even worse in The Sims 5. So let's begin. Less challenge. The Sims 4 is such a happy place, for Sims anyway. Nothing bad really ever happens. Sure, Sims can die in a variety of ways, but the chances of your Sims dying of anything is much slimmer than in previous games. The difficulty level of The Sims 4 is very low, and I get it, it's a sandbox game without any real fail state other than death. But even in the earlier Sims games, there was an element of challenge to playing with your Sims' lives. Keeping Sims' needs full was a challenge in itself, let alone finding the time to build a skill for that promotion your Sim needs, or getting the chance to pick up the phone to arrange a get-together with friends. Needs in The Sims 4 deteriorate slower than the previous games, meaning that Sims are often quite happy, and keeping their needs fulfilled is relatively quick and easy. With needs that are easier to manage, it makes other things easier too. Building skills is easier when you don't have to stop your Sim midway through to send them to the toilet or have a quick meal. Relationships are also easier than ever to build and manage. Sims can develop relationships fairly quickly with just a few clicks on the social pie menu. Plus, there's a hack in the game that allows Sims to become instant best friends if they take their picture together. If you have two Sims who are just friends but both in a flirty mood, you'll be able to turn them into soulmates with just a few social interactions without cheats. And once you've built those relationships, you don't ever have to bother with that Sim again. Unlike in older Sims games, relationships don't deteriorate, so you could be best friends with one Sim, not talk to them for a lifetime, and you'll still be best friends. No effort required. The Sims 4 has been dumbed down so much that various mod creators have made mods just to make the game more difficult. Emotions could have been a challenge in this game, but they're so easily influenced that it's not at all difficult to overcome negative emotions. I really hope this isn't an indication of how difficult The Sims 5 will be. If I've learned anything about the Sims community since making YouTube videos, it's that having realistic gameplay is quite important to a lot of players. Not in every sense, of course. I can understand why some players wouldn't want certain things to be in the game, but life does have challenges to overcome, and it would be nice to see this reflected somewhat in a life simulation game. Oversaturated content. I have noticed more with The Sims 4 than any of the earlier games how many times we've had the same thing repackaged in a different skin and sold in separate packs. We keep getting the same objects again and again rather than actual new content. How many times are we going to get a recolor of the same activity table or the child's dollhouse? How many fire pits do we need? How many bars is too many bars? No such thing, am I right? No, but seriously, having so many items duplicated so many times is really concerning when it comes to what content looks like in The Sims 5. I really don't want to see this pattern continue where you buy 10 add-on packs only to find that you have the same object in over half of them just with a different skin on it. I'm just saying, how about instead of 5 activity tables that do the same thing, we instead get 1 activity table, then maybe a pottery table, maybe a sketchbook, and then maybe something else that does a different thing that in turn provides more gameplay. I don't know, that might work. Anyway, speaking of add-on content, let's move on to my biggest beef with The Sims 4, something that I really hope we don't see in The Sims 5, but I'm not that optimistic, and that is taking one feature that was previously a part of a bigger pack and making an entire pack for that one feature. For example, laundry was a feature in The Sims 3 Ambitions, but was given an individual pack for The Sims 4. Parenthood is the closest pack we have to Generations, but the Slip and Slide from that expansion was sold as a separate stuff pack. The Paranormal Career was also in Ambitions, but was sold as a game pack, and the Home Decorator Career was also sold separately. We had an expansion and stuff pack for pet items in The Sims 4 that were previously included with The Sims 3 Pets. Bowling was a feature in The Sims 3 University, however it was sold as a stuff pack in The Sims 4. Halloween was in The Sims 3 Seasons but was sold as a stuff pack. Get Together is probably the closest pack we have to Late Night, however butlers and hot tubs that were also included in Late Night were sold as stuff packs. I realise that I sound like a broken record, but I do think it's important to highlight this. The total cost of all the Sims 3 expansions I've mentioned here would be $240. The total cost of the Sims 4 expansions equivalent plus the content that was sold as stuff packs would be a total of $320 for pretty much the same features. So what does this mean for The Sims 5? How much more can these features be broken down and put into individual packs? I'd like to think I'm an optimistic person in general, but if The Sims 4 is any indication of how things will be for The Sims 5, I'm a bit concerned. So those are a few things from The Sims 4 that I worry might be continued in The Sims 5. Gameplay that's too easy, too many versions of the same thing, and even less content for a higher price. Ultimately though, I am curious to see what happens. I hope that in these videos I don't come across like I just hate The Sims 4, because I really don't. I'm a huge fan of the franchise and would love to see it get better. I do think The Sims 4 has been the weakest installment of the Sims games by far, and I do think that there has been far too much greed when it comes to the add-on content for this game. This is something that I'd like to see change. I have seen a few comments over the years where Simmers have blamed each other for the quality of The Sims 4, because people are still buying these packs. I personally don't like that mentality. Yes, of course, consumer demand is a considerable factor, but that's the case with most things, especially considering that The Sims 4 is the first game for a lot of players, and I don't think it's up to anyone to have a say on what choices other people make. The Sims is still the only game of its kind really, as far as I know anyway. So if there are people who still get super excited for every Sims 4 pack that comes out, I'm not going to be annoyed at them. I personally would never buy the Journey to Batuu game pack, but I also wouldn't take issue with someone else who loves Star Wars buying it. There are a few potential competitors in the pipeline though, and I really think that the solution to the overpriced content is to have competition for The Sims. I think that will help balance out some of the price issues with The Sims 4. But until we get a viable competitor for this game, I think it's still important that we voice our opinions to EA and hold them accountable. And if you decide that you want to spend your money on a Sims pack, that doesn't mean you don't get to complain every now and again. I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there, but it seemed relevant to the topic. So, in conclusion, I'm very curious as to what The Sims 5 will be like. I'm looking forward to when it's released, but I'm also going to approach with caution, because I do have some concerns based on how The Sims 4 has been. I would love to know in the comments what you think The Sims 5 will be like. How do you think the online multiplayer functionality will work? I haven't really touched on that much, because I genuinely can't think of how that might work. Whether The Sims 5 meets, exceeds, or falls below your expectations, at least we still have The Sims 1, 2 and 3. I personally think the perfect game would be The Sims 3 remade with newer technology to make it run better. I'd be pretty happy with that. But for now, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, you know I love it when you do that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.